If I had to pick one aircraft that screams America's pride in the sky, it is not the F-35. It is the F-22 Raptor. This jet was built for one job: win the sky and make everyone else back off. From the moment it entered service, it was treated like a secret weapon. The US never sold it to any ally, not one. Most countries have only seen it in a few training photos and in a small number of real missions over Syria and other tense regions. And every time F-22s show up near a hotspot, it is not only enemy radar crews that get nervous. The messaging teams get nervous too. They have to tell their people that they still have a chance if an air war ever happens. Here is the weird part. The F-22 first flew into service in 2005. That means it is already about 20 years old. On paper, a fighter that old should be moving toward retirement. It should be making space for the F-35, for China's J-20, for Russia's Su-57, and for the next sixth-generation wave. But the opposite is happening. The U.S. Air Force is preparing to spend close to $8 billion more on the F-22 in the next few years. They are not acting like it will disappear by 2030. They even call it a bridge into the next era of air combat. So what keeps this old predator so dangerous that America still refuses to let it go? Why does its name alone raise the tension in command rooms, even when leaders try to look calm? Everyone in that room knows one simple thing. If the F-22 is used at full strength, very few targets get away. That is what we are opening up today. Stay with me because we are going to look at the newest updates and explain why this American sky monster is still the yardstick that others struggle to beat. Before we talk about upgrades, we have to face what the F-22 really is. In real life, it is not a giant aircraft. It is about 19 meters long. Its wingspan is a little over 13 meters. Its height is just above 5 meters, but inside that frame are numbers that keep other air forces awake. It has two Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines. Each can push roughly 35,000 pounds of thrust. Together, that is close to 70,000 pounds. For comparison, an older F-15C engine is around 29,000 pounds. An F-16 is lower. The F-35 has one F-135 engine that can reach around 43,000 pounds, but it is still only one engine. The F-22 has two powerful engines on a compact body, so the acceleration feels brutal. Because of that power, the F-22 can rush to around Mach 2 at altitude. That is over 2,400 kilometers per hour. But the scarier part is not the top speed. It is how it gets there. The F-22 can supercruise, staying around Mach 1.8 without afterburner. The F-35 usually sits closer to about Mach 1.2 in that mode. Other jets can go fast with afterburners like the F-15 or Su-35, but they cannot stay supersonic as long, while also keeping a low heat signature. Try to picture this. A fighter is coming at you at supersonic speed. No big afterburner flame. Less heat for sensors to grab. It closes distance fast. How do you plan to react in time? Now let's talk weapons. In an air-to-air setup, the F-22 keeps its weapons inside 3 internal bays. Nothing hanging under the wings. From far away it looks clean. But inside, it can carry 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles for beyond visual range shots. Each AMRAAM is like a small guided brain with its own radar. Early in flight, it can take guidance through a data link. It climbs to save energy, then dives to keep speed. Near the end, its own radar turns on, and it hunts the target by itself. The fighter does not need to keep pointing its radar at the enemy like older jets did. If the enemy pilot brakes hard, turns, or tries jamming, the missile keeps correcting its path. When it gets close enough, the proximity fuse triggers. It does not need a direct hit. A near pass can be enough. Fragments rip into wings, cockpit, or engines. On the F-22's display, it is a quick flash. For the aircraft on the other side, it is the end. On the sides, in 2 smaller bays near the wings, the F-22 can carry 2 AIM-9X heat-seeking missiles. This is the close-range killer. Its seeker is an imaging infrared sensor. It can see shapes in heat, not just a bright dot. That helps it judge real engine heat versus flares. It also has strong off-bore sight ability. The pilot does not need to aim the nose directly at the target. If the target is inside the seeker's view, the pilot can cue it with the helmet display, lock, and fire. The missile can turn hard right after launch thanks to thrust vectoring. It snaps onto the heat trail and closes fast. Again, the proximity fuse finishes the job near the hottest part of the aircraft. The engine fails, lift drops, and the jet becomes falling metal. People often say other fighters can carry more missiles. That is true if you hang them outside. An F-15 or Su-35 can load a lot on pylons, but external weapons add drag and light up radar returns. The F-22 carries up to 8 air-to-air missiles and still keeps a very small radar signature. By the time your radar gets even a faint hint of something, there is a real chance missiles are already on the way. The F-22 can also strike ground targets. It can carry two 1,000-pound JDAM bombs internally. JDAM is a guidance kit added to a normal bomb. GPS and inertial guidance turn it into a precise weapon. From altitude, the F-22 opens the bay, releases, and the bomb guides itself to preset coordinates. The hit error can be only a few meters. A 1,000-pound blast can erase a command site, a weapons depot, or an important building. And because the weapons stay inside the aircraft, the jet stays as stealthy as possible. Even on a strike mission, it can still carry air-to-air missiles internally to defend itself if the sky turns dangerous. Now we get to the brain. The AN/APG-77 radar is an AESA radar. It can shift its beam and pattern extremely fast. That makes it harder to jam and harder to predict. The F-22 also has sensors around the airframe and a fusion system that blends data into one clear picture. The pilot is not staring at raw blips. The pilot sees a processed map of the fight. Who is where? Who is moving which way? Who is friendly? Who is not? That is a huge advantage. It shortens decision time. And in air combat, seconds are life. But there is one more layer that matters. The F-22 belongs only to the United States. F-15S, F-16S, and F-35S fly in many countries. Allies train with them. Rivals watch them. Over time, people learn their habits, their limits, and their weak points. With the F-22, foreign forces do not get that. No one else has full access to its materials, coatings, radar, or complete sensor setup. So imagine you are on the other side. You have practiced against F-16S and F-35S for years, but against the F-22, you mostly have guesses, a few clips, and rare sightings. When will your radar finally see it? And will its missiles already be in the air long before that? Fewer than 200 F-22S were built. Some were lost in accidents. Roughly around 140 plus are in true combat form today. That is a small fleet. Each jet is almost a strategic asset by itself. So why keep it so locked down? Why refuse export money that the US gladly takes with the F-35? What is still hidden in this aircraft, beyond what everyone already suspects? And if the old version is already this scary, what do the new upgrades turn it into? To understand the fear, we should look at real use. On the night of September 23, 2014, in the Middle East, the F-22 launched for its first real combat mission. This was not a show flight. It was the opening night of strikes in Syria. The target was tied to ISIS command and support networks near Raqqa. The F-22 climbed, stayed quiet, and kept its signature low. It did not need a loud escort that would announce it. Using its radar and sensors, it found the marked complex, released guided bombs from standoff range, and left the area before defenses could react in a serious way. Official statements later sounded calm and dull, but the meaning was clear. A jet built for top-level air war proved it could also strike precisely in a crowded, risky airspace. After that, the F-22 flew many sorties in Operation Inherent Resolve. Sometimes it hit key targets, sometimes it helped protect other aircraft. Sometimes it helped keep enemy defenses unsure and off balance. Few photos came out, and that made the effect even stronger. People knew it was there, but they did not know exactly what it was doing. Then came tense encounters with another major power in the same skies. Over Syria, F-22S and Russian aircraft crossed paths near areas like the Euphrates Line. When Russian strike jets moved toward zones the US wanted to protect, the F-22 would appear quickly, cut across, drop flares, or take a position that forced the other pilot to think twice. Up to now, the F-22 has not scored a public air-to-air kill against an enemy fighter. But another fact sits beside that. No one wants to be the first to test what happens if they push too far against a jet they may not even see clearly. And then there was a strange moment in early 2023 over the United States. A Chinese surveillance balloon drifted across US territory. The debate was loud. Shoot or wait? What weapon? What timing? In the end, an F-22 fired an AIM-9X and destroyed it off the coast. It sounded almost silly on the surface, a stealth air superiority fighter used against a balloon. But as a message, it was sharp. The US chose the tool with the highest chance of success, and it showed the world it was willing to put top assets on the table fast. Now we reach the upgrade question. If the F-22 has been praised for 2 decades, what is left to improve? The answer is a lot. The Air Force is not just polishing an old jet. It is adding a new set of senses and updating the nervous system that ties everything together. That is where the multi-billion-dollar plan comes in. One big reason is that the world has changed. Rivals are not only improving radar, they are also investing in infrared search. Heat sensors can spot what radar may miss, especially in certain angles and conditions. The response is to give the F-22 better infrared awareness. In 2025, Lockheed Martin announced a contract to integrate a new setup called IRDS, an infrared defensive system. In simple terms, it is a spread-out set of infrared sensors around the aircraft. It does not broadcast like radar. It watches and listens for heat. It can detect the hot trail of missiles and the heat of aircraft, while the F-22 stays passive. If radar is like a flashlight, IRDS is like night vision that does not reveal your position. This is not just a basic warning light like older jets. The key is how it connects to the fusion system. Infrared, radar, and data links come together into one clear view. The pilot can judge threats faster, choose what matters first, and react in time. And that is only the defensive side. The F-22 has also been tested with IRST pods under the wings. Think of those as larger hunting eyes. They can search for targets by heat without using radar. In a future fight where stealth jets face stealth jets, the side that sees first in infrared may control the battle. Range is another weakness the US wants to fix. The F-22's stealth range can feel limited if it must stay clean. External tanks help, but they reduce stealth. So the plan includes low-drag tanks and pylons with shapes meant to reduce drag and lower signature. The idea is simple: carry fuel farther, then drop tanks and go clean before entering the most dangerous zone. This gives the jet more reach without giving up its main advantage at the wrong time. Weapons also evolve. The F-22 is expected to link with newer, long-range missiles like the AIM-260, built to answer threats like China's PL-15. That supports the same old promise, just stretched farther. See first, shoot first, finish first. Not every jet will get every upgrade. The focus is on the main combat blocks that can take new hardware more easily. Older training-focused jets sit in a debate over cost versus value. But the big picture is clear. The F-22 is not fading out. It is being pushed forward as a key bridge into the next era. So how long should this aircraft stay in service? And if you had to name one fighter that truly deserves to face it head-on in tomorrow's sky, which one would you choose?